On this episode of Climbing Progress, I'm in Bozeman, Montana, climbing at Spire Climbing Gym. And in this session, it's going to mainly focus on V1s, V2s, and a couple V3s. Let's jump into it. Starting off, we got this really pretty easy V0 here. Start very low to the ground. And then I'm climbing slow and controlled as I have been for the last month or so. Really trying to keep myself thinking deeply about every foot and hand movement. Got a double finish up at the top. That's that first one there. Then I moved on, did another V0 just to keep myself, starting off slow here. I'm in a new gym, so I like to try to do basically as many of all the grades that I can physically do as possible just to really feel it all out. This, I feel like I did the V0s in order from hardest to easiest. That blue one at the start was definitely the hardest. Then the red one was slightly harder than the purple one, than the orange one. So that was kind of interesting. Up next is this one here. We have a purple. This is a V2. And although I do flash this, it is probably the worst climb I have ever done in my life, because just not in terms of the setting, the route setting or anything like that, but the way I execute the climb, it feels so cumbersome and awkward. I'm trying to match my feet here, and then all I have to really do is reach out and grab that purple hold there, but I'm feeling like I need to drop my foot back, and then I'm like, okay, this isn't working. Like, what is going on? And then like, okay, maybe I need to put my foot up high. I'm like, that feels even worse. I'm like, okay, put my foot back down there. I'm like, wait, if I just reach out and grab this, then we're all good. Able to match that and then get my foot up over there, lean out, grab that, match the top, and we're happy. So that was a V2 that I was pretty disappointed in myself doing, but neither here nor there. We move on. Up next is this V1. Pretty simple, straightforward. I actually enjoyed this one. There was some side-to-side movement and not just a straight up and down climb, which felt good. Up next was this red one, which I would say is probably the highlight of this trip out here, or highlight of this climbing gym, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. Went underneath here, under this big volume, and then went up and around it, and then was able to match and finish up top. Coming in a pretty close second was this green V1 in this very like deep cave area. Nothing very difficult. It was all just kind of slight overhang, but you have really good feet and everything, so made it quite easy. The one little challenging part here was getting under this red volume there. So you can see it got kind of close, but then went up to the top right there, which I thought it was pretty fun to do. Up next is this yellow kind of grape climb, but like a bunch of grapes almost. It's a lot of stemming. This reminds me of when I used to top rope. I really enjoyed doing the stemming routes, and this kind of reminded me of that in form of a boulder. So that was kind of fun. Up next is this black V3 here. I really messed it up that first time, where I went up with my left hand when I should have gone with my right hand. So as you see, I'm like, okay, wait, I made a mistake there. Let me just jump back on it. Was able to match that, or was able to hit that first move really easily, and then I was able to get all the way up over there. Super nice. You see my sister's hand in the ground right there telling me I have a foothold where I do. I fall off because I don't realize that there's a hole above where my left hand was when I dropped off. And I'm realizing now I'm going up there. I'm like, oh, well, wait a second. All I had to do was do that right there. And then I demonstrate to myself that, hey, look, that's all you had to do. And then it was a pretty simple one hand there, and then make it to the top. So we will see that later in the video, me attempting it once again. This was a pretty fun snowman they had here for the holidays, New Year's and Christmas, and it was pretty fun. I was able to keep my feet pretty close to the ground doing it. Moved on to this V0 here. Just we had moved into a new area, so didn't do anything too exciting, but just kind of wanted to, again, do all the different, V1s, V2s, V3s, V0s. Up next is this V3 here, which I actually really enjoyed. It was definitely a big challenge. If I lived out in Bozeman, Montana, I would this would definitely be the project I have. But unfortunately I don't. So I'm first of all trying to just work my feet up here a little bit so I can reach that big hold right there that I hit with my right hand. Work my hand up there, and then I have to rotate my body so I'm kind of leaning into that one. And you can see the finish right there. It looks like a white hold, but it is actually purple, just covered in a whole bunch of chalk. So that's me trying to hold on to it there. I really cannot get a good grasp on it. I definitely can't support my weight off of it, unfortunately. So I'm like really trying to get my foot into a good position. I was not able to, so I had to drop off and unfortunately couldn't get it. But kept my head held high, and I moved directly onto this V2 here. Kind of move my feet around just to get a little bit better angle here. Work my way up these here. This is pretty overhung here. I'd probably say it's probably 20-25 degrees of overhang. So it's definitely not like super easy to do, but it's also like not too crazy, but it is quite overhung, I would say, at least for my climbing capabilities. And I'm able to top out on this one. It felt pretty easy. These, I would say overall, the climbs at this gym are slightly easier than what I am used to being challenged, assuming at Seattle Bouldering Project, I just take the middle grade of their range of grades for each climb. So they felt a little bit easier. This V2 is actually very interesting here. As you saw, that first one I failed because I didn't have my foot up there. So this time I had gotten my foot up before I really started the climb, and then I worked my way up here, and I stupidly put my foot on the big black hold down at the bottom that with the V5 tag on it. So I put my foot on that. Thankfully, my sister told me, "Hey, Tony, you you used the wrong hold." And as you can see from there, it kind of just looks like it's just white, got a bunch of chalk on it. So I mistook it for a green hold. So instead, I make sure very carefully to use only the green, able to use the green, lean back, and finish that climb. Here, you see I'm back at the black V3 that had conquered me earlier, and I just kind of quickly ran over in my head, hey, this is what I have to do with my hands here. So move with my right hand first, then my left hand, move my feet over, get my foot on that little foot chip there, then I'm able to go up, pinch that hold there, then pull and reach my left hand out, get my feet up, and then I'm able to get these last two or three holds here super easy. The feet are nice, and the holds are also quite nice. So did a little nice victory slap on the top of the wall there, so that made me feel pretty good. And here I'm just kind of doing a little cool down session. I'm going V2. This is a new V2, but then I'm going to do a V2, V1, V0 just to kind of finish it out. This V2, actually, I was starting to kind of feel it at this point, and so these were kind of like pinches, and I enjoy pinches, and I actually thought that was a really good one to end on, like a good new climb to end on for myself. So then I asked my sister, hey, what should I do to kind of finish out this session? And she said, oh, I should do this V2 here. And so I did this V2, finish it out there. Then I almost immediately hopped onto this V1, taking less than probably 30 seconds of break here. And it's pretty funny if you go back and when you see what my V0 looks like in comparison, what you're going to see in a few seconds to what it looked like at the beginning of the video, it is night and day at how, I would say, how not bad, but almost sloppy how I'm doing it, because at this point, my hands and arms are kind of killing me. And so I'm just like, I'm climbing as fast as I can. I'm not like caring. I'm just like, I got to get up here and finish it. So I feel like I did well. Tail of the tape here. perfect on V0, V1, V2. Had a couple mistakes on that green climb in the far room. And, honestly, I would say a pretty good session. I got that 1v3, very happy with it. Nothing to be ashamed of here. All pretty good. So I look forward. I do another session here, so look forward to that next in tomorrow's episode. But that's all for this one. Keep climbing.